Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. Now, whereas you could reasonably safely say with the orchids, I mainly know what I'm doing. Not all the time, but mostly. This time I know nothing. I've never repotted a Pinguicula before, so there's got to be a first time for everything. I remember there was a first time a long time ago when I first repotted an orchid. Anyway, what I've been waiting for is to get some stuff to add to the peat that I've already got, and it suddenly dawned on me that in the aquarium shop I can get silver sand, and because that is quite fine, I thought we'll get some grit as well. So it's not hugely expensive, and it's a one-off purchase. I'll never need any more, I don't suppose. So first thing is to get one out of a pot and see what we've got, because I haven't got a clue what I'm going to get. There's loads and loads of... hang on, let me just go and get my scissors. I'll probably need those. I don't know I'm going to need them, but so there's loads and loads of dead leaves around the base of these plants, and I'm hoping that this is just going to lift out. Yes, it is. Just going to lift out, I mean. Oh, well, we have some roots. Now I'm hoping all this dead stuff just pulls away in the main. And once the dead stuff's pulled away, I should be able to see what I'm dealing with here. Right, well obviously what we're dealing with is a very, very shallow root system. And the plants are falling apart. That's good. Now, do I take them down to single rosettes? I think I will. So this will be 2 plants. Virtually no roots. And leaves falling off all over the place. I'm not sure I've done that very well at all. But the fine new roots are just there. I wasn't expecting lots of leaves to fall off, but if they're going to come off, they need to come off. And then we've got another one here. Again, lots of dead stuff around the base. Leaves just fall away. Very, very fragile. Very fragile. That one's got a little bit more of a root system, not much. They don't seem to have much of a root system, these things, just like very fine hair. So that's another plant. Well, I hate to do it, but I think these blooms ought to come off. Give them a fair start in life, if you know what I mean, because otherwise they're trying to sort blooms as well, support blooms as well as try and establish a new root system. So we'll take the blooms off. We'll get those again. So that's 2. And what have we got left? I think there's 2 more. Yeah. Again, there's some dead stuff. Of withered flower spikes from the past. Leaves just falling off again. Away with the flower spikes. That's 3. And another one here. Now this one seems to have the majority of the roots. Right, so I've sort of tidied them up a bit. Yeah, see now this one's got quite a reasonable root base. It's got a solid lump of peat there at the base of the plant. and some roots. So that one's got roots. It's also got 2 buds, which are a shame to lose them, but as I said, the blooms will come again. You know, if I can get these to start to grow and progress and get some new roots on them into some new media, because I hate to think how old this media is. It's ancient. They've never been repotted since I got them. The hardest bit I can already see is going to be trying to put them in media. Reasonably safe to say that they will just have to stand on the top of the media. Just make an indentation, drop them in place, gently push the media towards the plant so that it sort of engages with the base of the plant, and then what I'll probably do is put some grit around the very top of the plant to stop it getting too moist constantly. Oh, these leaves just fall away. Right, and a lot of that is because it's wobbling around, so the sooner it sits, see this one's just collapsing. Leaves are just falling off. Oh well, they've all got some new growth in the middle of them. You know, they've all got a centre that's actively growing. So, right, well, see, that's just mud. Poor little things. Right, so I think a more healthy medium will be more conducive to getting these to grow. That media could be 4 or 5 years old, and given that it's constantly damp, you know, that could be real sort of acidic, beyond what these things are supposed to have. Right, I shall go and dump this lot. There's nothing more to do to these apart from delicately try and sit them on the top of the media with a little bit of grit around them just to hold them in place. And obviously quite small pots as well. They don't produce big root systems, so they don't need big pots. I'll be back. Right, let's play mud pies. This is my peat. This originally was bought for my Deesers, which promptly rotted after being repotted. But this is real peat. Yeah, it has got lumpy bits in. It's quite a coarse peat. I'm not going to mix up a huge amount because I'm hoping to use very small pots. But this has got quite coarse pieces in it. It's very damp. It smells fresh. I've had this a while as well, so this isn't new. Right, so now let's mix something up that the idea is that you pour water on it and it goes straight through and leaves a reasonable amount in the peat. But we're going to have some grit. This is coarse grit, a fair bit of that. And then this is the silver sand I was after. A fair bit of that. Right, and then this is all about feel. What does it feel like? Does it feel scrunchy, or is it still soggy? Yeah, I reckon that's pretty good first go. It reminds me a little bit of mixing up a bonsai mix, because I was told by a real serious bonsai person, so when you mixed up your bonsai thing, your bonsai mix, if you do that, you should be able to hear it. And I know exactly what he meant. There should be enough grit in there that you can hear it. Right. I'm going to put a bit more of the actual grit in. It's just a feel. As I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know whether this is a good mix or not. These plants may promptly die. I have no idea. But this has got to have enough substance in it, because I always water mine from the bottom and let it soak up. So it's got to have enough substance in it to allow that to happen, but not be soggy, if you know what I mean, sodden. So we'll give that a go, as is. Right, so now I need to find some pots. And what I'm going to do is use the pot that this has just come out of as a guide to go and see what sort of size I need. But I think when I bought this Pinguicula, it was probably only one rosette, and it's grown on since then and expanded, so you know, and that was in that size pot. So but I don't believe that these need a big pot. I'd like the leaves to be hanging over the pot, quite honestly, so that the edge of the pot supports the plant. So I'll be back when I've got some pots. Oh, I've got a whole pile of these. These are sturdy pots. Can't think where I got these from or what I got them for, but they're wide, they're relatively shallow, they're smaller than the pot this has just come out of, but shallow, which is probably very good for something that's not going to root deep. And this is just going to be allowed to fall in. No pressing whatsoever. Loose. And it's got to be at roughly the right level for this to work. And the idea is that we do nothing more than I'm going to use a spoon. We do nothing more than that. So no pressing, just a shallow hollow, and then just gently drop the plant in. There's another leaf gone. Just drop the plant in that hollow and gently push it in from the sides so that it's now touching. Right, how many more leaves are going to fall off? And then what I wanted to do, I'm not even sure this is even necessary, but I'm going to put some grit around the base of the plant. But what I'm not going to do is do it to all of them. I'm going to do it to some. The idea is just to keep the damp compost off of the neck of the plant. So that's it. That's what they're going to get. And we'll see what happens. As I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm guessing, but you've got to have a go at these things. Oops. I think a lot of this is wobbling the plant around is actually loosening the leaves. They're not secure, so we need to stop wobbling the plants around and just handle them really gently. A bit too much. So something like that. And make our little hollow in the middle. Just make sure it's sort of level. Make a hollow. Drop the plant in. Like so. And then gently push in from the sides just to close up the hollow around the base of the plant. So I'm not pressing as such, I'm just gently pushing. And then I quite like the look of that grit down the base of the plant, so they'll probably all get it in the end. The idea of this is just that I've been looking at some pictures of Pinguiculas in nurseries and things like that, and most of them seem to have grit on the top of the pot. I don't think they were potted in grit. They just had this sprinkling idea over the surface, just sort of around the neck of the plant. I think it's like you might do for alpines, you know, just to stop them rotting around the neck of the plant. Right, there we go, another one done. That's 2. Not enough. Never mind. As I say, there's one plant there that might not even survive. It's got no roots at all. And the next one's quite a big one. The only thing I would imagine to watch out for is if you are doing something like this and you've got the very coarse peat, is make sure you don't get a lump of peat immediately underneath the plant, because it would be nice if the roots could get into something soft, I would think. Right, so let's see if we can do this without wobbling the plant too much this time. This is the piece with not a bad root system, so just gently drop that in and ease the media in from the sides. Sort of like that. Sort of like that. Right. Now I'm going to put the grit down again. It's just something telling me that that's actually a good idea. It could be cobblers and totally unnecessary, but I've got plenty of it. And it does make the plants look nice. It sets them off. There we go, that'll do. 3. And 1 more to go. And there's not enough media. As I said, I'm not even sure this one's going to grow. It's got no roots at all. But we'll give it a go. Notice this is scientifically mixed. You know, the proportions and everything are very carefully measured out. Not. Big lump. Right. How many leaves are going to fall off of this piece? I don't need too deep a hole this time because this has got no roots, so it's just the base of the plant. Just gently drop that in. There we go. And have a go with the grit again. Oops, that wasn't very secure, was it? Right, that'll have to do. So that's my attempt at potting up some Pinguiculas. Where there was one, there's now 4. Is this a good idea, I ask myself, when I'm just about to move house. Right, so that's it. Whether that's right, whether that's any good, whether they're all going to die or not, I don't know. But I'm not doing the others until I see what happens to these. So the other 2 pots are not getting touched until these have had several months and a point at which I can see new leaves have grown and opened and, you know, gone down with the rosette rather than sticking up in the air like the new ones do. And then I can imagine that they're probably rooting because they're growing, if you see what I mean. So hopefully they're producing little root systems and they've got some nice fresh media to go down into. So we're going to find some places for those to hide in the grow room. They can carry on doing their thing with the flies. They seem to be doing that very well. And I'll see you next time. All good fun. Just a bit on the end. This is the coming to the end of Saturday. It's starting to get dark. Obviously I had all the viewings today. I went out, I effectively went out to get this media. I went to a water garden place, not too far away, just to get me out of the house really. All of the people who booked in turned up, and before the last one had actually left, we'd had an offer on the system of over the asking price. Since then we've had an offer of under the asking price, which I shall promptly ignore. It specifically says offers in excess of this amount. So putting an offer in less than that is probably not going to get you anywhere, is it? Anyway, it's started. Things are happening. So I would imagine the agent will probably give me a bit of grief to actually accept the offer. But it would seem not right to me to accept the first offer you get when it's only been on the market a few days. Yeah, and all the booking slots were filled up very, very quickly, and everybody turned up, which implies there's good interest there, which might mean we might need another viewing day, another open day next weekend perhaps, but that'll be up to the agent. He did say that the bookings will probably now come in at a slower pace, and he might be able to handle them one at a time as they come in, just make an arrangement to sort of call round and meet somebody here, which I said I'm okay with. Anyway, I thought I'd add that on the end. See you next time.